Good evening. WA will finally ditch its mask mandate along with isolation for close contacts and proof of vaccination requirements. From Friday, the state will have no border controls for the first time in 2 years. All signs the worst of COVID is behind us.
They're the words 2.5 million people have long waited to hear.
It's time to start to go back to living with COVID.
Come Friday, WA will let rip on masks, capacity limits and the last remaining defences of the hard border. A state renowned for shutting down, now safe to open up for good.
WA has been spared the heartache and loss and chaos that we have seen around the country and the world.
Restrictions lifted 4 weeks on from the COVID peak, with hospitals coping better than expected. Masks will only be required in hospitals, aged care facilities, on public transport and at the airport. The 2 square metre rule that crippled businesses, gone, and the unvaccinated can return to bars, cafes and restaurants.
This is the best news that WA's hospitality industry's had in the last 2 years.
Subiaco publican Dane Oddie hopes it's the much needed leap towards pre-pandemic normality.
I think it's just going to remove that barrier, so people will just be way more comfortable coming out now.
From Friday onwards, our city is back in business.
More people also free to return to work. Asymptomatic close contacts no longer required to isolate, providing they wear masks outside the home, avoid high-risk settings and test daily. But even with 79% of the WA population triple-dosed, vaccination mandates for employment remain.
They have kept our community safe. They have helped to protect vulnerable people.
Interstate arrivals won't need to be vaccinated, and with the G2G pass made redundant, police can return to the front line.
Northbridge, Kimberley, Pilbara will put them in the places they're needed.
The sweeping changes have been cautioned by doctors.
I'm greatly concerned that we may be going too soon, given that our 3-day average is only 600 less than what it was at our previous peak.
But the Health Minister says the impact on living now outweighs the risk.
Hospitalisations may rise, but it can be managed. If you want to wear a mask, you absolutely can wear a mask.
Today, more than 6,500 new COVID cases were recorded and 8 deaths across the state. Just 249 people are in hospital with the virus, 11 in intensive care.
We were expecting up to 450 hospitalisations per day.
Those hospitals will still be tightly protected, but patients can have 2 people visit per day, and more elective surgery bookings will open up as the health system ramps up recruitment for its next test.
The health department will continue to respond in a very agile manner over the next few months. This is not over.
And as he battles the virus himself, a message of thanks from the Premier.
We've achieved our soft landing out of COVID. Best economic outcomes in the world, best health outcomes in the world. That's what we're aiming for the whole way through. And every West Australian deserves credit for everything you've done over the course of the last 2 years.
And Joshua Dorr, the crowd cap will lift just in time for Friday's big game.
Yeah, Michael, there'll be nothing to rain on the parade come Friday night under lights when the Eagles take on the Tigers. 60,000 allowed inside Optus Stadium for the first time this year. The biggest crowd we've seen in 2022 has been around 42,000 with a number of capacity caps in place, but they will be gone, so too mask and vaccination requirements. Today's announcement means the finish line to this pandemic is certainly in sight, but the Health Minister says the state government will continue to reserve its emergency management powers if it needs to bring back any rules before the end of the pandemic. Businesses, Michael, certainly hoping the next few days will be the last time they're seen.
Fingers crossed. Josh, thank you.